topic, we will talk about how to extract data from external sources. So let me show you live. In our last sessions, I have already discussed how to get information from XML file. I can still show you. So what we were doing, like we have some data. Let's say I have created one XML file. This is one XML file. If you open an XML file, it looks like this. So let's say I have created data for a person having some department and employee designation, everything. Now this data is in XML format. Fine. So it's in XML format, you have the tags and everything. Now I want this particular data to be imported in Excel. So how do we do that? Let's say I have this file here called test, and let me show you how I can get this in Excel. Suppose in this particular area, I want to bring that data. It's very simple. You just go to data from other sources, and here you will find an option called XML data. You can click here. It gives you the option from where you want to select or where you want to get the information. I'll go to my folder and I'll say that this is my XML file. See, it is by default asking for XML file. So I have selected my XML file and I say open. It gives me a message information. So I just need to say OK to just bypass this message. And it asks me, where do you want this data to be entered? I say that in my current location. And then the moment I say OK, see, my data has been entered. So the same data that was in Excel form has been recognized by Excel, and we can see the output here. So this is one way of extracting data or importing data from other sources. Now, not only XML, we can gather live data from the internet. So pay attention, this is a very important thing. See, how do we do that? Let's take an example. I have a website which shows some weather related information, weather monitoring system for United Kingdom. Fine. So the moment I open this website, it shows me the current weather details of London. Okay, so different stations, different county stations of London, and their time, temperature, rain, rate, rain, everything comes here as a table. Now this is the data that I want to do some research on. So this means that I need to get it into Excel. Now how do I get it into Excel? For that, what you need to do, first of all, take this link, copy this link, come to Excel, and then click on a given cell, any cell where you want to paste the data, and then you select the option called from web. See, we have already seen from text. We have already seen how to gather data from other sources. So access is not in our scope for this session. So we will see how to gather data from web. Now, the moment you say web, it gives you a place to write your query, address. So I have already copied that address. So what I'll do, I'll just paste that address and I'll say go. The moment I say go, see what happens, the entire data is captured. You will see. So now this becomes different parts of the table. I don't want this icon, this logo. I don't want these options also. What I'm interested in, I'm interested only in this particular data. So see, it has identified this as a table. So when I click there, it says, see, if you take your cursor, it says click to deselect. This means it is already selected now. And then when I say import, and then it asks me where do you want to import. If you want, you can put it in a new sheet or you can put it in the existing sheet. So I say existing sheet. It takes some time to gather the data, and once done, it will paste the data in your Excel. See, your website data, the same data has come here. Like this. So this is how we get data from external sources. This was an example, how to import data from internet. So this part was from XML. We imported this data from XML, and this part was from internet. So this is how we get data from different sources. It is not only the case that we can import data from a website or from XML. We can also link one data to another. So let's take an example that this is my Excel sheet. I'm making a document, I'm preparing a report, and for this I require a file to be embedded here. So there is a concept of linking and embedding. One concept is known as linking and another concept is known as embedding. So both are a part of object. So with the object we can either link or we can either embed. Both the things are possible. What do you mean by linking and what do you mean by embedding? Let's understand this. When you link an object, what happens is this is what happens. So an internal link is created between the object and the link. So if you make any changes in the object, that will be reflecting in the other position where you have linked it. Embedded on the other side says that you just copy and paste it, and this is a one-way communication. So you take the object and put it in a particular place. So if you make any changes in this object, that won't be reflected here. So let us see some of the examples. What do we mean? How do we do that? How do we do linking and embedding? So let's take an example that this is our existing file, and here I want to include another file for orders. Let's say there is another file called orders. This has got some orders and I want to link this file here. So what will happen if I link it from this Excel file? I should be able to open the other Excel file. We will first do with an Excel file and then we will try it with a Word file or any other file. So first, how do we do so? The first thing that we do is go to insert, and you will find an option called object here. So insert object. The moment you say insert an object, it gives me an option. What do you want to do? Whether you want to create a new object or whether you want to display an object, means that file is already there, you want to display it in your current document. So I would like to go for the second one because I'm not creating a new, because that won't be a linked thing. So I want a linking to happen. So to link the file, what the first step would be to select the file. I say browse and I go to my folder wherever I have kept my documents like this, and I select the file, orders file, and I say insert. Now till now nothing has happened, only the file has been selected. Now what we can do, we will have to click here link and then display as an icon. Display as an icon, what it will do, it will display the entire file as a small icon. If we double click, it will take us to the original location like this. Suppose I want to change the icon, I can take it like this and whatever type I want, and I say OK. Now see what has happened, a small icon has been created. Now this looks like a small picture, a button or an icon. However, this is a link. This is the link to order.xls, the file that we have created. Now how do we open this file? If you double click on this file, it opens. See, it opens as a separate file. So this means that this particular order file is now linked to this particular Excel file that we have created. This is linking. So this was an Excel link. Let me try out. So don't think that it is only possible for Excel. I can embed, I can link any kind of file, kind of hyperlink, definitely, but it points to a different location, different file altogether. Absolutely right. It's a kind of hyperlink. So it's not that only Excel file we can link. Let's take an example that I am taking a PDF file. I have a PDF file and see, you can see here while linking, you see here star dot star means all files. This means I am able to link any kind of file that I have got. I say insert and then I click on link and display icon. Again, I can change the icon, whatever, but for PDF I have only one kind of icon, so I can't change anything else. And then I say OK. The moment I say OK, what happens? This particular icon is created. The same way, if you double click, you can see that the file has opened. So this is about linking. Now let's try something about embedding. Let's take an example that I have a file, let's say the sales data file itself. I'll open and we have created some charts here. Okay, so some charts are here. Let's say this chart also I can take. Let's say this is a chart. Now I am preparing a report. So for the report, what I want, this is my dashboard, this is my Excel sheet, and somehow I want that chart to be displayed here. Now I don't want any link to happen. I just want the chart to be displayed as a picture. So how do we do that? So that is not linking, that will be termed as embedding. So I will embed that chart. Now there are various advantages and disadvantages of linking and embedding. Now if you see these two files, linking, we have linked this. Now God forbid, let's say somebody deletes this file. Then what will happen? I lose all my data. Though it is linked, since we have changed the original data, it will have an effect over here. On the other hand, if we put it as a embedded object, so in that case what will happen? It will be inside this particular document. So let's try this. Let's say this is a chart. I am trying to put it here. So what will I do? I will right click and say paste special, and then I'll put it as a JPG and say OK. See, this chart is now embedded as a picture. I can put it like this. I can minimize, I can maximize, whatever. This has been embedded. Now, the thing is, let's say if I change anything here, let's say I change the some type, let's say like this, I change it, suppose. Now, this is not going to hamper, or this is not going to affect my data that I have put there. See, this is not linked, this is embedded. So this is a snapshot that has been taken from the other Excel sheet, and it has been pasted over here as a object, and that has been embedded here. Embedded, I mean to say punched. You can, in other words, you can say punched. So it has been punched here. So it has got no link with the same data that we have just seen, this one. So this is the concept of linking and embedding. This is how we can link or embed. Now, when we paste charts, there is a special way of pasting a chart. So we take any chart. Let's say I'll show this once again. So let's say I have got a chart. I'll go to any of the sales data only. I'll take any small chart. I'll take, let's say this one, and I say copy. And then for pasting the chart, actually what we do, we don't paste it directly, just saying Control V. We'll have a problem. How do we paste it? See here. You right click and then go to paste special and paste it as a JPEG file. You say OK. So this has now become a picture. Fine. Now I'll show you what is the problem when you save, you don't paste it as a picture. Let's go to PowerPoint, and let's say this is a blank PowerPoint, and I'm trying to paste a graph. So I've prepared some project, and then that project I want it to be displayed. So what I do, I'll take this chart and I just paste it like this. Fine. This is one type of chart that I have pasted. Now you can see that these sum, total, sales, the month, these all things won't come here. So these all things won't come here. We have just pasted it as a simple chart. Now see, once again, I copy, and then how do I paste it as a picture? So the trick, instead of Control V, what you can do, you can go here and put it as a right click. See, how do we do that? Once again, right click, and then it asks me for the paste options. So instead of pasting as a simple picture, as a simple chart, we take the last option of pasting as a picture. See what happens? This is the difference. The first one has, we can actually modify this particular chart. So we can remove this, and then we can make some changes over here also. Fine. So see this particular chart details. It acts like a chart in Excel chart, something like this. A chart area, everything it recognizes. Chart area, plot area. Fine. The category, y-axis value, everything identifies. But here it won't. It will take it as a picture. Now here what happens when you see the problem here, the moment you try to squeeze it, let's say I don't have much space and I have to squeeze it down. So this is the problem that occurs if you are pasting it as a simple object. So this is a type of link that we have done. But this, if you want to squeeze, it will have no impact. See, look at the difference between these two. So this is an Excel chart that we have pasted the normal way, and this we have pasted as a picture. So whenever we are working with PowerPoint, make sure that you paste your chart as a picture. So that gives the formatting, that keeps the formatting as it is. So you can see the difference over here. So always suggested that you paste as a picture. So this was one topic that we wanted to cover.